Friends, welcome to Catalyst Chemistry YouTube channel. As we discussed in last video, some of the important points about what homologous series and functional group. Functional group means what? This is a property of an organic compound. Determine the property of an organic compound, that is indicate what? A functional group. In this case, what? Carbolic acid is there, aldehyde is there, alcohol is there, ketone is there, NH2 group is there, that is what? Amine. All these are indicate what? A functional group. In this case, functional group means what? It for example, OH is there. OH means what? That is alcohol. Alcohol is acidic in nature, that is going to determine. Next one is what? Homologous series. Homo means what? Same. Homo means what? Same. In this case, homo means what? Same. In this case, what happens? They are having a what? Similar structures, but only differ in their what? CH2 group. For example, methyl alcohol is there. Next I am going to consider ethyl alcohol. What is the difference between methyl alcohol and ethyl alcohol? Only the CH2 group. Next one is what? Propyl alcohol. All those things we have studied last video. Today we are going to discuss the most important point is what? IUPAC Nomenclature, International Union Pure Applied Chemist, that is long form of what? IUPAC. This is the most important point. In IUPAC, in older days the common or a trivial name are there, but in nowadays compulsory you have to mention what? IUPAC Nomenclature, because of we know very well about that the naming must be important. How we are going to name? For example, benzene is there. You know very well about that benzene, and next one is what? Propanol is there, butanol is there. With how we are going to find out this is a propanol, butanol with the help of what? Spectroscopy. We are going to determine the structure of this one. Okay, we are going to start today class. That is what important point is what? Nomenclature of organic compound. Okay, nomenclature of organic compound. Important part in this topic. Nomenclature means what? Naming. Okay. In this case, the first point is what? Common or a trivial name. That is what you are going to call common name, or trivial name. Okay. Common name is different. IUPAC nomenclature is different. Okay. First, in this case, we are going to consider some of the two examples. The first example is what? HCOOH. This is the what? Formula HCOOH. What you are going to call? This is called what? Formic acid. This one is indicate what? Formic acid. Formic acid. Formic acid. Okay. Just see here. This formic acid is indicate what? A common name. Initially means older days they are going to find out the compound and they are going to give a name interest on what? Self interest on what? Scientist. But nowadays not like that. Okay. Compulsory how to give IUPAC nomenclature. This is formic acid. Formic acid present in what? Red ant. Formicus. Actually the word is what? This formic acid come from formicus. Formicus is that is the Latin word. Okay. That is why in this case formic acid. Next one is what? Formic acid present in a what? Red ant. You know very well about that. The red ant bite, start itching. Why start itching? Because of what? The red ant fluid. The red ant having a what? Fluid. That fluid name is going to indicate what? Formic acid. The next one is what? Acetic acid. That is what? CH3COOH. This is indicate what? Acetic acid. This one is indicate what? Acetic acid. Acetic acid present in what? Vinegar. Acetic acid is what? Present in what? Vinegar. The vinegar can grow in a what? Greenhouse gases. Okay. This is indicate what? Common names are there. But IUPAC nomenclature is different. For this IUPAC nomenclature is different. This IUPAC nomenclature is what? Different. At that point we are going to study next. The next important point in this case what? IUPAC nomenclature. Just see here IUPAC. Okay. International Union Pure Applied Chemist. This is a long form of what? IUPAC Nomenclature. In IUPAC Nomenclature, there are three parts are there. The first part is a root word or a word root. The second one is what? Suffix. The third one is what? Prefix. These 3 points are most important for find out the IUPAC Nomenclature. Okay. Just here in this case there are this is what IUPAC heading. There are 3 parts. There are 3 parts are there. There are what? 3 parts. The first part I am going to write here. The first part is root word. The first part is what? Root word. The second one is what? That is suffix. Suffix is indicate what? If functional group is there, we are going to apply the suffix. The root word is there, that is called what? Parent chain. The third one is what? That is prefix. This one is indicate what? Prefix. 3 parts are there in particular. These are major parts. Afterwards the rules will come, totally 8 to 9 rules. Some book they are mentioned 8 rules, in some book they are mentioned 9 rules are there. Okay, we will study later. Okay, first one is what? In this case, word root or a root word, both are same. The first one, word root. Don't worry, I wrote here root word. In this case I wrote here word root, both are same. Okay. Word root, what is the role of word root? Word root can determine the parent chain of the compound. Given molecule, you can say compound. It can determine the parent chain. Word root means what? In this case, it can determine the parent chain. Important, bear in mind, in this case, with the help of the word root, we are going to find out the parent chain. It can determine the word root, it can determine the what? Parent chain. It can determine the important point is what? In this case, parent chain. Okay, I will tell you later what is the meaning of parent chain. Okay, it can determine the parent chain of the given compound. Okay, that is most important. Okay. Next we are going to consider in this case what? The numbering is there, parent chain is there. Okay, some of the numbering and some of the what? Parent chains are there. We are going to study that point. First, in this case, number of carbon atoms present in parent chain. Number of carbon atom present in what? Parent chain. Okay. Just here, this is one column is there, next another column is there. Okay, this is number of carbon atoms present in what? Parent chain. Okay, next this is what? Root word. This one is indicate what? Root word. If I am going to consider one carbon is there, this is what? One carbon. What is the root word? Root word is what? Meth. The root word is what? In this case, meth is a root word. Just here METH, this is what? Meth. Only one carbon is there. You know very well about that methane. How many carbons are there in methane? One carbon is there. No, that's why what we are going to write? Methane we are going to write. No, that's why in this case the number of carbon atoms present in a parent chain is 1. Next, if 2 is there, what you are going to call in this case? This is what? Eth. Only this much, ETH, eth. If 3 is there, what you are going to call? Prop. PROP, prop. Okay, this is what? PROP, prop. If 4 is there, what we are going to call? But. Means what? Butane is there. No, that is indicate what? But. If 5 is there, what we are going to call? Pent. If 6 is there, what we are going to call? Hex. 7 is there, what we are going to call? Hept. If 8 is there, that is indicate what? Oct is there. Okay. In this case, at least you know about 10 to 15, otherwise you know 20, 30, what you are going to call in what? Particularly parent chain. Okay. Just here, this is what? 7 is there, heft. Next, in this case, I am going to write 8, what you are going to call? This is what? Oct. Okay, that is indicate what? 8. 9 is there, what you are going to call? Nonane. Next, after that 10 is there, this one is what? Decane. Okay. If 11 is there, that is indicate what? undeck. 11 is there, what I want to call undeck. If 12 is there, that is what, dodeck. 13 is there, what I want to call trideck. Next 14 is there, that is called what, tetra. 15 is there, that is pentadeck. Next after that, in this case 20 is there. 20 what you are going to call, bear in mind sometime it is going to use IUPAC. What you are going to call 20, if 20 carbons are there in a parent chain, what you are going to call, that is called what, IUPAC. 30 is there, by chance 30 carbons are there in parent chain, what you are going to call, tricount. TRICOUNT. TRICOUNT, that is indicate what, tricount. Tricount means what, 30 carbons are there. Okay. This is indicate what, word root or a root word. What is the role of a word root or a root word? It can determine the parent number of carbon atoms present in a parent chain. Okay. The next second one, what is that, suffix. What is the role of the suffix? Suffix can determine the what, functional group. If functional groups are there, what we are going to apply, the rule is, that is what, suffix. Second one, suffix is there, no? After that what, prefix will come. In this case, if the functional groups are there, we are going to write what, suffix. If the functional groups are present, then apply the suffix rule. Then apply the what, suffix rule, important. Okay. If the parent chain containing functional groups are there, you have to apply what, suffix you have to apply. Just here in this case I am going to write in this case what, some of the functional group. Next one is what is the naming. Just in this case the first column is what, functional groups. Okay. Second one is what, that is called what, naming. You can say what, whatever you want to call a functional group, naming. This is one is indicate what, important point is what, naming is there. Okay. Naming means, so naming means indicate what, that is called suffix. Bracket, in this case you have to take naming, in this case you have to write what, suffix. What is the suffix? Just I am going to consider the first functional group, most important functional group is there, that is called what, COOH. What I want to call, what is the name of this one, COOH, carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid means in this case what happened, oic acid. What we are going to call, this is called what, oic acid. Next after that, in this case CHO. Okay. I told this point in a functional group, no, CHO, what we are going to call, aldehyde. The aldehyde is represented by what, Al. Aldehyde represented by what, Al. After that the next one is what, in this case ketone is there, that is indicate what, ONE, that is what, ketone, C double bond O. Next after that, in this case what, OH is there. Alcohol, the alcohol is represented by what, OL. Just see here, OL is different. Next one is what, AL is different. If AL is there, you have to write aldehyde. If OL is there, that is what, alcohol. Okay. Next after that, carbon carbon double bond, what we are going to call, ENE, carbon carbon double bond. Next, if carbon carbon triple bond is there, what we are going to call, YNE. This is what indicate suffix. Bear in mind, if the functional groups are there, we are going to apply the suffix. Okay, suffix is the most important, root word is also most important. Next one is what, that is a prefix. Okay. Next heading is what, prefix. We are going to study next point is prefix. Prefix, if prefix means it indicates if the in parent chain you are not going to mention the substituent groups, that time the prefix is most important. Okay. The next third one is what, that is prefix. Third point is what, indicate prefix. Just here this is what is the meaning of prefix. In the parent chain you have to take in the parent chain in the parent chain and functional group and functional groups are not mentioned. Functional groups are what? Not mentioned at a time in the parent chain and functional groups are not covered. Better you have to write what? Not covered or not mentioned at a time. That time means better you have to take this one is not covered. Not covered. That time we use prefix. We use what? Prefix. Don't worry about this meaning. I will give an example, that is very simple example is there for what? Prefix. In this case means in parent chain functional groups are there. Next one is what? Other substituent groups are, means other groups are there. That time you are not going to mention all the groups at a time. That time we are going to apply what? Prefix. Okay, just here in this case important examples. In this case what? I am going to write an example, some example, and next one is what? In this case what? Substituent groups. These are called what? Substituent groups. That time we are going to called as a substituent group. Just here I am going to, important point is what in this case? That time that group you called what? Substituent groups. You called it as what? Substituent groups. Just here I am going to write an example. For example, here is there, this is what? CS3. What is the prefix? In this case prefix is what? Methyl. Prefix is what? Methyl. Just here this is what? CH4. If I am going to reduce one hydrogen, I am going to write a CH3. This is indicate what? Methyl group. This arrow mark indicate what? At least here one carbon is there or other groups are present. Okay, just you know about that. For example, CH3NH2 is there, no? This is called methylamine is there. Just I am going to remove this NH2. What it indicates? So obviously methyl. Okay, like this. If CS3 is there, this is what? Methyl. Next one is what? C2H5 is there. What you are going to call? This is what? Ethyl is there. Next NO2 is there. What you are going to call? Nitro. NO2 is there, nitro, NITRO, nitro. Next after that if Cl is there, what we are going to call? Chloro. Cl is there, this one is indicate what? Chloro. All these are indicate what? Prefix. Okay. This is what? Important. All these are indicate what? Prefix. Next point is what? Next point means what? Some of the rules are there. Okay, those rules we will study next video. Thank you.